And she goes, when I push there on the left side of my face, it feels like little tiny bubbles are bursting. She goes, it feels like it's shitting or having babies in my face. Ugh!
Yeah, really gnarly, really gross. Welcome to the Hollywood Raw Podcast, Raw Rundown, where we give you the top 10 stories of the week. My name is Adam Glyn. Over there is Dax Holt, the man who is the quickest to send his headshots to play the role of Luigi. Yes, Dax, the shooter, the healthcare shooter. All right.
Oh, I thought you were like a Mario brother or something or other. I'm like, Luigi,
No,
yes,
I mean,
yeah.
that guy somehow has taken over the news cycle, but we're not going to get into that because that's everywhere. We're going to get into the real news, like Ellen's house flooding, apparently for the second time. But again, we'll get into that more in a little bit. This is the Raw Rundown where we give you the top 10 stories of the week. How do we give you the top 10 stories of the week? It goes by Google search, it goes by data, and lastly, it goes by our personal opinions. But ultimately, like we always say, it comes down to the Google search. And if you have worked for any major, if Google, if you worked at any major media outlet, what they do is they have a computer screen and see what people are clicking on. And just like you see so many stories regarding this Luigi guy, like a lot of people are clicking on him, so they're going to feed into the story. Dax is over there on the West Coast. I'm here on the East Coast. I'm cold. You're warm. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I can't complain. Had our holiday party at my office the other
nice.
day.
That might have
It was
been
wild. It was crazy. What?
I didn't
What?
tell you.
What?
Wait.
Oh, it's gonna be
Yeah,
good.
I mean, it's not gonna be that good, but so I got invited to a friend's company party the other day. Big company,
Yeah.
very big company, and it was at Tao in New York City. You know Tao. It's a very fancy Asian fusion restaurant. Celebrities go there. It's expensive. It's not cheap, but they rented out the whole Tao in downtown New York City. And I was lucky to get an invite, and I go to the party, and the party is packed. They have a DJ. The place is crazy. Like I thought it was gonna be like a dinner at a table, but no, they rent out the whole place. It's like whoa! Like I had to have a ticket to go into the party. And while everyone's at the bar trying to get drinks, I'm like the only one taking advantage of the food. Like I'm at like they're getting like the sushi, the rice and steak, and I'm like going nuts for the food. It's like Epcot to me, like Epcot Center. Like I'm trying to get every single thing I could get for like spicy tuna, crispy rice, like some crazy steak cut. Like I'm like going nuts, like trying to like experience it all there. And then all of a sudden I'm at this one booth where like I'm getting some fried rice, rice, whatever, and I have to take a spoon and like take it for myself. And there's someone right next. I forgot to tell you this. Someone's right next to me, like trying to get the food the next. Who like I'm like I'm gonna pass him the spoon. Like here's the spoon. I'm not gonna put it down. Like I was like here's.
Who did you pass the spoon to, Adam? Get to
David
it.
Beckham.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, I forgot to tell you this. I was like, so
you
like.
were gonna tell me you're hanging out with David Beckham.
I wasn't hanging out
you
with.
call me and tell me everything.
Be more. Listen, to be more. He was just there, and I had an idea that he was potentially going to be there. Like he could be there, and I only knew that because I know his involvement with the company. But I didn't think.
Yeah.
Like I thought there could be other people there too, and I just wasn't even looking. I was like, oh, there's David Beckham, and he was there with
Did
Victoria,
you hand him the spoon?
and I did not hand him the spoon. I was like, I just like kind of looked straight, like act like I was just. I don't want to make it weird. I was like, I just put the spoon down, just kept walking because I was so like embarrassed because I felt like so many people were looking at us, and I was the one like going crazy and taking like too much rice. Like you're only supposed to like taste it, and I'm like, looks like I'm taking food for home. And I don't know, so I kind of like ran off because I was like so embarrassed because they knew what I do. Some people knew what I do there, and I was like, they don't want me to be stupid or act dumb or like they don't want me to like make me. They don't want me to be seen there. Let's be real. Like they want me there, but they don't want me to be there to make it awkward for the celebrity. And I was like, not like David Beckham knows me, but yeah.
So what was he wearing? I mean, were they chill? Did they hide away in the back of the room? Like, tell me more.
They were in like not a private. They were like at a booth, and there was a lot of people around the booth. They weren't roped off by any means. Like if I wanted to, I probably could have went up to them, which I didn't. But they just had like a lot of people around them. Like a lot of people were congregating around them. So you would have to like fight your way to kind of get up to them. But I wasn't going to go up to them, and nor did anybody there. And honestly, nobody at the party even made a big deal that they were there. But everyone said, and I know too, I mean, I've met him once, twice before, and he's actually been very nice. Not good to the paparazzi, but he's been very nice to like fans and people. Like he's very present. One day I was going to the Flight Club in New York City, and which is like a high end sneaker store. It was a Sunday, I remember, and as I was walking in, all of a sudden he's walking out. I'm like, whoa, David Beckham! And I just watched this documentary of him riding a motorcycle through South America. And I thought it was really cool. And I just like, somehow I asked him about, hey, what kind of bike? I asked him about the bike he was riding in South America. I was like, yo, man, I was riding this bike out through. And he starts going in his accent about like the motorcycle he was riding. And he was like so excited to answer and like talk about this documentary. And like, he was really nice, took a photo with him. And yeah, super cool dude. But that was, I
That's
mean,
what was Victoria like? Was
she
she
wasn't,
out chatting
she
with
was at the
people?
booth too. She didn't like, I didn't see her eating the food, but she was at the booth.
She fascinates me because she comes across super like bitchy, and I think it's just because she's got like the resting bitch
Yeah.
face. But when I watched their documentary, she was
She seems
dope.
fun.
She was really fun,
Yeah.
really cool. You just don't see that side of her, and I think it's the resting bitch face that like puts off a persona that's not necessarily there. I think Victoria is actually super awesome. Were there any other huge celebs at this
No,
party?
I mean no, there was not. There was word that like Angela Reese was gonna be there. Angel Reese was gonna
Mhm.
be there, but she
Your
did. Yeah,
favorite?
my favorite. And I was like, and I just got her the day before, and like I met her reps too, and I was like, and
Yeah.
they introduced the person introduced me to them and told them what I do, and I quickly I deleted the video.
Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
deleted off my TikTok and my YouTube because I was afraid that like somehow it would come back to me and I just met them. I was like right there. I did it at the party. Like as I'm talking to them, I was like, okay, yeah. So where are you from? And I deleted the
Yeah,
video
yeah.
right there.
Delete.
Yeah, I deleted it right there.
Oh my
And
god.
then but I'm going to a party tonight. And this is like I'm very lucky I got invited to this party. Like it's a hard invite to get, but I became friends with the guy and I kind of help him out with some stuff and have to act my best behavior. But uh there's a possibility Tom Brady will be there.
That's crazy.
Again, I'm not.
I can't
So I know I'm
I'm
not
still
bragging
in
by any means. I
shock.
don't want like I'm mooching. Like I'm not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like they don't want me there, and I kind of like push it on them. Like yeah, I'm invited, guys, right? And like make it awkward.
So, I have to say, it was actually way more fun to hear the story the first time on here. So maybe don't tell me these stories because normally Adam and I talk like numerous times a week, sometimes numerous times a day, and he'll tell me all these stories and his crazy adventures. And maybe we're gonna have to stop talking during the week so that you can tell me these awesome stories on the
All right, all
podcast.
right. We'll start to do that. All right. In the middle of the week, Dax and I kind of explored a little bit of like some of the stuff that's going on in the week because this week has been a unique week in the world of entertainment news, and we kind of BS'd about it. And then today we kind of give you the top 10 stories of the week, so you know everything that's going on in the world of pop culture before the weekend. We're recording this on a Thursday midday, so sometimes things change. But you know, I'll be honest with you, we have time. We have to make time to edit, cut it, do all that stuff, post it.
Get it up by 1
Yeah.
a.m. on Friday morning.
Exactly. So you guys have it already. So sometimes someone dies at Thursday night and we're screwed. We can't put it in. But you know, so you know the timing of this. All right. Before we get to the raw rundown, Dax, do you have a review ready for us?
Oh, I've got a review for us. All right, this one. Let's pull this one up. Let's see who it comes from. Spen Sports, and it says, "Great show, 5 stars. These guys really know celebrity news. I always wait with bated breath for Wednesday and Friday to come around so I can get the latest episodes. Love the top 10 episodes, but I particularly enjoy the interviews with those in the industry. My favorite interview are with other paps who also have many interesting stories to share about personal run-ins with the stars. Thanks for the great show, guys." And that's from Spen Sports. Thank you, Spen.
That's awesome.
Appreciate you taking the time. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And to everyone else who leaves those reviews on Apple Podcasts for us, greatly appreciate it. And for all the new people there, I accepted a bunch of new people into the private Facebook group this week. A lot of requests came in. So if you want to be a part of it, go to HollywoodRaw.com, click on the link to join the private Facebook group. And I will review to see if you are actually a fan, because it asks you a couple questions if you want to join. So come join
Come
us.
join us. All right. Let's get to the raw rundown, starting with number 10.
All right, number 10, American Psycho fans are quote unquote devastated that there will be a new star starring in the American Psycho. It's not necessarily a redo, it's more of like a a revamped, I don't even want to say revamped, a new portrayal of the book American Psycho. And it's going to be by Austin Butler. Austin Butler is now being cast to be in this new American Psycho movie, and a lot of people are not happy with that. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people that are happy, but I feel that that is a very hard role to fill. When Christian Bale did that role many, many years ago, he knocked it out of the park. It became a cult classic for many people out there. And so sometimes it's hard to even envision someone else doing the role. And that's why everyone's voicing their displeasure. But you know what? I have to say, it's not the exact same movie. It is not a redo. Let Austin Butler give it a shot. And, you know, he's done a really good job acting out in the last couple of years. So why not see what he can do?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Dex. So American Psycho with Christian Bale came out in 2000. I didn't see the
Yeah.
movie. I've never seen it, and I've heard about it. I know like all about it, but I just have never seen the movie.
It was a huge, well, and I don't even know if it brought in a lot of money at the time of release, but it's one of those movies that everyone like still talks about, or it goes down in their like top 10 list of their favorite movies they enjoyed. I don't know, it's just a cult classic for a lot of people. You know what I thought was funny was one of the people online just wrote like, a blonde could never pull off this role. I'm like,
What does that mean?
really? That's the reason? Because Austin Butler's blonde, he can't act in this movie? I'm like, that's why they have dye. That's why they have wigs.
Yeah.
They don't, you know, if you really are worried about the hair color, then get out of here.
I just want to see what kind of range Austin Butler has as an actor. I know he's like very dedicated to it. He was great in Elvis, but I feel like he became Elvis so much that in real life and just in all his roles, he sort of became Elvis. I tried watching this movie on a plane recently when he's in this like motorcycle gang, and it's kind of sort of odd. I couldn't even finish watching it because I was like, he's sort of like hard to watch. So I just want to see his range as an actor. This movie, we're about to enter 2025. This movie came out in 2000. I would say this movie would come out in 26. So I guess they're not remaking it, but kind of making their own part of it 26 years later.
Spin on the book. And
not mad at it. I'll watch it. I get it. I respect that they're not remaking it. They're
go watch the first one. You need to go watch the original.
Would you say it's a comedy film?
Go watch a comedy serial killer film.
Because when you look it up, it says it's a horror comedy film.
Yeah, it's just go watch it.
I would say what made it great is just Christian Bale. I think it really showed what kind of actor he is. That's what's really made that movie successful. Like, man, this guy's good. I mean, and they were right. Christian Bale is a star. All right, Dax, number 9.
Number 9, we are just about to get a new movie. It feels like every day there's a new movie that is, well, an old movie that's getting a sequel or a trequel or a quadruple or whatever it's called. But Meet the Parents is now coming back. It sounds like they're in the talks with Universal about making a new Fockers movie, and with Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, basically the whole cast is going to be coming back together to add another movie onto this comedy franchise. Got a lot of people talking. I mean, this is truly it's been a fun couple films so far. Blythe Danner will be returning. Terry Polo will be returning. Do you like when they do this, Adam, or is it like, oh God, just come up with something new?
I'm trying to think if there's other movies where they make like not just a sequel. What do you call it when they make 3s, trilogies, and 4s and 5s?
Trilogies. No, a trequel. Remember, I just said it. A trequel.
It works in horror movies, maybe, possibly. Because you know what you're getting. They're fun. It worked in Toy Story. I thought Toy Story 3 was great. Something with a franchise like this, it doesn't really resonate with me personally. I mean, I watched Meet the Parents 1. It was classic. 2 was good.
Did you watch Meet the Fockers?
Yeah, Meet the Fockers. It was good. And then after that, I was like, oh, I didn't even know they made a third. Like
they made a third, Little Fockers.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch that one, so I was like, I just didn't even know. So to me, it's like
those movies were crazy successful. The first one, Meet the Parents, brought in $330 million to the box office. But then the second movie, when it was Meet the Fockers, almost $500 million, or I guess actually $500 million, $522 million worldwide. They brought in on that. So like for them, it keeps bringing in money. They're going to say, why not? Let's just keep banging them out. People are watching them, so let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's show business. They know they're going to make money, and I think at the end of the day, people are in it to make money. And if they're able to make money, and let's say this, like a guy like Ben Stiller, if he does this film, which they know will make
Hmm.
money, then he could do another film that he wants to do. So it could be part of a
Yep.
deal that we don't even know about yet. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like they're
Oh yeah.
using this as like, hey, I'm going to do this movie. I know you'll make money, but you're going to have to
This will then,
do my next movie as well.
yeah, this will then finance the next movie or
Yeah.
whatever.
All right. Cool. Dax number 8.
How can people hate Taylor Swift? She's like the most giving person on the planet. This woman is so successful. She makes so much money and she gives a lot of it away and she treats people around her pretty awesome, which I love talking about stories like this. But Taylor Swift has now reportedly given away $197 million in bonuses on her Eras tour to performers, crew, and this is on top of their salary. So all those people that were touring around the world with her, we had reported, I want to say like a year ago, that she had given out 50 million to all the truck drivers as bonuses. And it's unbelievable, but now it seems like it totals 197 million. And a lot of people were like, yeah, we get it. She made $2 billion on it. And granted, not all that money goes directly to her. There's a lot of expenses and bottom line things that need to get paid off first. But she obviously made a ton of cash off of this. But I love hearing that everyone working on her tour, truck drivers, caterers, instrument techs, merch team, lighting, sound, production staff, assistants, carpenters, dancers, band, security, choreographers, pyrotechnic, basically everyone who is involved in this got an extra piece of the pie because this was such a successful tour for her. We did mention she wrapped up the North American leg of her tour. And well, actually, she wrapped up the entire tour. But when this was about a year ago, she had wrapped up the North American leg of her tour and she had given out $55 million in bonuses.
So here's the
Now
thing. Hold
on
on
December 8th,
before we even go on
but
with this. So she they them no she gave out 100. What does it say? She gave out 197 million.
197
So what
million.
does that really pan out to be for each worker? That's the thing I'm curious
Well, I
about.
think it's different for the different levels of people
Sure.
get different amounts. But I mean, think the amount of people, I'm sure there's thousands of people working, but if you even divide 197 million by 5,000 people, that's a shit ton of
Yeah,
money, dude.
but you're totally right. So if you're, let's say, a guitar tech that maybe makes, I don't know, $85,000 a year, is this year they're making $185,000 a year? Is that how much that really comes out to? Like that's,
Maybe.
I mean, I wish there was someone on the staff that could actually, and maybe they had to sign NDA how much each person got with the money. But I'd be curious of how much of a bonus each
But
person got.
that's like I don't want to say like a full
Oh,
lifetime changing, but
100%,
that will change your year. That will
dude,
change,
100%.
everything for these people. And I think that is unbelievable. I love it. I love
No,
these
I
kind of
think it's great. I
stories.
think it's awesome. I think it's really nice. I'm just curious about how much money each person got, how much it really comes down to. And like you said, I mean, even $20,000 is good, but like for that much money, a person makes maybe
Hmm.
$90,000 a year. Are they bringing home $200,000 that year because of that? I don't know how it kind of, and whose job is it to say, all right, here's 190 million. This much is going there. Who to divide the money to make everyone happy? I'm sure everyone is
Do
happy,
you
but
do you,
I would love for someone to speak
do
up.
you think do you think Taylor's team is almost forced to leak out this information because people are like, well, she's making all that money. Well, what about all the people working on her tour? And they signed NDA, so they can't say anything. So do you think her team is almost pressured to have to put this out? Because a lot of times, like when you're giving, you don't want to say it. You don't want to like have to put it out there to the world, but this makes her look good and understands that she is giving back to all the people that helped her on this tour.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. I mean, it's
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of forced
yeah.
to, honestly.
You're sort of forced to, and when they see how much money you're making, you need to kind of share the wealth of people who made it possible. And
Yeah.
I don't think she's hurting either. I don't think it was like, man. I was like, hey, listen, I want to make everyone happy, and then I want to make these people are going to want to work with her in the future because it's not going to be the last tour she's going to do. These people want to be on the next tour. They want people fighting for this job, and then know what? You want people fighting to do that job and do a great job because they know what potential is going to be there, and also like it changes the landscape
I
of the
want to work on
business.
Taylor's next
What would you
tour.
do?
Like, I want to
I want to work
be.
in
I will
catering.
be her. I'll be her pyrotechnic guy. I don't care. I'll throw up some fireworks or something.
Smoke now, boom. Yeah, dude, I'll work as a valet. I don't care, dude. Give me something. Get me out of the building. I don't. Give me
Something.
something. Dax, number 7.
Number 7, Shawn Mendes, seemingly setting the record straight about Camila Cabello and Sabrina Carpenter, and that timeline that was there when they were dating. If you remember, he was in the midst of like dating Sabrina Carpenter, and then all of a sudden he was back with Camila Cabello, and everyone was like, what the hell just happened? It seems like, yes, they were very close, that he was dating Sabrina Carpenter, and then kind of broke up with her, and seemingly like 2 days later started dating Camila Cabello again, and they were seen at Coachella. Well, he went on to an episode of John Mayer's Sirius XM show New Light, and he said, like 2 days before going to hang out with my ex, I expressed I'm going to hang out with my ex because I have unresolved feelings. And he said maybe instead of 2 days, it could have been 2 weeks. Like I think he was basically saying it wasn't the best decision he's ever made, but I think that he truly loved Camila Cabello and was heartbroken when they broke up and wanted to give it a second shot. And they started dating for a while and then ultimately called it off once again. But I wonder if he's kicking himself at all because Sabrina Carpenter has become such a huge star. If he's like, damn, I should have given that one like just a little extra thought.
Yeah. First of all, I'll say this, but John Mayer, I don't know if Dax, you have a Tesla. Dax is doing well. He's got a.
I love my
Yeah. Do you
Tesla,
have
by the way.
do you,
It's
do
the
you have
greatest
Sirius
car.
XM in your car?
Mm-hmm.
The John Mayer channel is amazing. It's incredible.
I don't
Oh,
listen to it.
it's an
Yeah, it's
it's
good.
so good. It's a great channel. Interesting conversation. Kind of weird how it kind of came about. This whole thing. I thought it got a lot of attention, but I still honestly, even with you explaining the story, I still have a tough time even understanding it really. But obviously, when you mention these type of names and you're like, damn, you forget that Shawn Mendes was with these girls. Like he has a good
Mm-hmm.
resume. We just don't even know if he was into them, but we he
Why are the like gay rumors gone like full speed ahead all of a sudden? Was it just because he said at that one concert like, I'm still trying to like find myself kind of thing, and so I think people just really want him to be gay is really what it comes down to, and that's why there's so much steam behind all of
Dex,
this.
can I tell you something? I can't tell you the name. I'll tell you the name off camera.
Okay.
I had a
Okay.
friend who dated a male celebrity, and
Mm-hmm.
whenever they made love, they would only do in the back door. And his reason
Okay.
was because I don't want to get you pregnant. My feeling was no, that's because he's
Sorry,
gay.
I thought we were talking about a gay celebrity. I was like, well, where else are
Oh
you
no,
gonna
no,
do it?
it was a guy and a
I
girl.
was so
A guy
lost.
and a girl, but
Okay.
he only
Okay.
wanted to do the back door, and his whole reason was because I can't get you pregnant. But I was like, yeah, but I thought that was a little weird. Like, dude, get a college or get.
Okay, sorry, I was really lost on that whole conversation. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You're like, who's your friend? I'm like, yeah, this is the monsters I deal with. Yeah, I don't have a good. Yeah, it's
I never question. You have some of the weirdest fucking friends I've
yeah.
ever seen or
I
heard
got
about.
friends in low places.
Yeah, backdoor places.
All
All
right,
right,
Dex. Number.
moving on.
How do I just ruined the whole story by talking about a butt sex thing. All right, that is so bad. All right, that is so bad. All right, Dex. Number 6.
All right. Kim Kardashian, she has got a new, I don't want to say boyfriend, but she's got a new fling. Remember, she was recently dating Odell Beckham Jr. That was kind of on the lowdown for quite some time. Then they finally like acknowledged they were dating and then they broke up. Well, she is now dating someone. And this is a big change for Kim. Kim is dating someone shockingly different from anyone else she's dated in a long time. Someone who's not famous. Is that not
No, I
weird?
think it's
Like
great.
Kim Kardashian only dates famous people that are going to, kind of elevate her status. Well, this guy is an apparently a real estate investor who is not in the public eye. This was exclusive information that Page Six broke. They said, look, she's not in a committed relationship, but she is dating someone new. I'm very curious to see how long his name stays under wraps, and also if this goes for the long haul, because she does like having a very public life. She likes having all of this out there. It does well for business. It does well for her personally. But apparently she met this entrepreneur through mutual friends, and we'll see how it goes. I don't think it's a bad thing for her. I think that sometimes dating someone who is also in the public eye can be a very difficult thing for your relationship. Everyone wants to talk about it. Everyone wants to discuss it. There's a lot of pressure on both of them to stay in the relationship. So maybe dating someone who's not famous is a good move for Kim
So
Kardashian.
Kim, yes, you're right, Dex. She does like being in the public eye, but if you think of how she used to be compared to what she is now, Dex, she's not much in the public eye as much. Yeah, she still posts on social media and does stuff, but she kind of has kind of stepped back, has been more private with things. So I respect that.
Mhm.
Like she did it. Like there's not really much for her to do. Like she doesn't have. If she wanted to, she could go back and have the paparazzi chase her in 2 seconds. But she doesn't put herself in those type of situations anymore. Like she's already past that. You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool. Listen, the guy's a real estate investor, so she obviously is dating someone who does have a lot of money, who could kind of handle that sort of life and has the means to afford the life that they kind of both live. Um, but I think it's nice that she's kind of being with somewhat of a regular person, and she might have also dated some regular people that we're not aware of in the past few
Nah,
years.
we know of all of her
That's true.
relationships. She's
That is true. That is true. But it's nice. I'm happy. Kim is happy. I think it's very cool. I think it's cool the way they kind of leak it. Like, hey, because people are curious. What's Kim been doing? She hasn't been with a guy in so long. Well, she is seeing someone, and it's just not in the public eye. So it's just nice to kind of have that touch base with what's going on with Kim. We root for Kim here, Dex. We root for Kim.
we are Kim
Pro
fans.
Kim.
All right.
Number 5.
The Golden Globes have announced their nominations, and there are some people that are very upset about the snubs. There are some people are excited about the nominations, so we can kind of brush through those quickly. Obviously the Golden Globes. I like the Golden Globes. It's probably one of my more favorite shows when it comes to award show season, because there's a lot of drinking. They normally can get away with a lot more. The hosts are really funny. Like when you've had Ricky Gervais over the years, he's been awesome. Nikki Glazer is actually the one who is going to be hosting the Golden Globes this year. She obviously became really famous after the Tom Brady roast. She was so funny on that Tom Brady roast. It really kind of, like, I would say, catapulted her career even more, even though she was already up and coming and doing really well in comedy. I feel like that put her on another platform, and so she'll be hosting the Golden Globes. Do you think that's a good
Great
choice?
choice. Nikki is a friend. She's awesome. She loves the business. She loves Taylor Swift. She knows entertainment. She doesn't have strong connections, so she could go all out. She is a great comic. Female. It's great to see female up there and do her thing. Someone who's like in the business but doesn't have that A-list star where they need to protect them. Like she could go hard. I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for her. I'm happy for her. Uh, Makes the Golden Globes worth watching. I mean, especially last year was tough. You had Joe Coy hosting, and there was so much press around Joe Coy bombing at the Golden Globes, and I don't think he bombed. I think he tried his best. I mean, it didn't go over the well. It didn't go as well as he might have thought, but also he got the job within, I think it was not too long before, and they gave him writers. It just wasn't his voice. Like it takes time, so you need to have the right people in place to make it work. And I don't. Joe Coy's a great guy, but I think Nikki, and I think Joe Coy did a fine job for what he had.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Nikki to do it. Who are some of the biggest snubs though, Dex? Like we're
Oh, I think the biggest snub was Lady Gaga. Like, most people were talking about the fact that Gaga was going to get this Oscar nomination for the new Joker movie, which was honestly a total flop in theaters. But I think that a lot of people still praised her for her acting, whether or not the movie sucked. People People who liked musicals said, "Oh, she did a great job." And the reviews were just so terrible that she did not get a nomination, which I think is probably a pretty killer thing for her, just because she has worked really hard for that. The other big one was Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton did not get a nomination for Beetlejuice, which a lot of people kind of were expecting, just because like him coming back to that role. The Golden Globes are not like the Oscars where they will give nominations to action films and comedies and all of these other things that somehow, like, a lot of other shows would be like, no, that one's below us,
Yeah,
but the Golden Globes, they
a little
will
more broad.
give nominations for stuff like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a more fun award show. And he did not get that nomination, which a lot of people were kind of bummed about. The other one is Deadpool and Wolverine, which was kind of shocking to a lot of people, because if you remember, the first Deadpool got a bunch of like minor awards back in 2016. They had scores of nominations from various industry critics, including Golden Globes nod for Best Comedy Musical, Best Actor, and then this one, which did really well in the box office, was kind of just absent from the nominations this year. They did get one for Best Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. So they basically said, look, it did great. We can't ignore that it brought in a gazillion dollars, but for Ryan not to get the nomination, for not to be in the comedy section, like that, I think people were a little shocked of. And then Stanley Tucci, he was missing for Conclave, which a lot of people thought he would get that nomination. So anyway,
Yeah.
but Wicked got a ton. I mean, the normal movies that you expected got a ton. Wicked, I was shocked that the Wicked was able to sneak in there so quickly, because it just released.
Well, it's funny because
You know?
Jamie Foxx's stand-up special didn't even come out yet when the whole thing was released. So it's like, how does this thing get an award, and the special didn't even come out yet? Which, again, that's the politics in the industry of everything. It's just like, it's not real. But again, these award shows are, like we always say, these award shows were made to bring attention to the industry. They're not real awards, but it's all bullshit. But yeah, I like award season. I it comes during a time of year when I have nothing to do, so I like to watch some of these films. I love the Oscars. But I have no idea what movies are going to be up for the Oscars, because it's just all like comic book movies. So I know the Joker hopefully won't get nominated for an Oscar. All right, Dax, number four.
Number 4, The Golden Bachelor. Gary Turner says he has incurable cancer. Obviously he's been all over the news because he was the Golden Bachelor, and then he got married on TV, and then a few months later, him and the woman he chose got a divorce. Well, now he is coming forward saying that he has bone marrow cancer. Turner, who is 72, he's a father too. He broke the news in an interview with People, saying that he found out when he visited an orthopedic surgeon to address a shoulder injury. He said, I finally got around to going to seeing the doctor, and he was like, I can't really do much about your shoulder, but let's check your blood, because there's just some kind of unusual stuff going on. And then come to find out that he got referred over to an oncologist, and they're now going through exactly what is happening. He was diagnosed with Waldenstrom's, oh my God, get ready for this word, macroglobular. I think I got that right. It's a disease that changes the white blood cells into cancer cells that build up in the bone marrow, and it is not curable. So it could go on for a couple of years, and start to kind of like, unfortunately, spread a little bit. So he is dealing with that and opening up about it. I think, he's saying, look, I was quiet about it at the beginning. I didn't really want to tell anyone. He goes, but now I need to talk about it. I need to obviously say stuff out loud. Plus, it also helps other people. Adam, I got a really nice message the other day from someone who says, hold on, I'm going to bring this up. You talk about this for 1 second. I'm going to bring up this message that I got the other day. Go.
Wait. Dax.
Here.
Wait. Yeah, go on.
So I found my message. So this was a DM, and I am bringing it up because I had spoken about my melanoma journeys. And this woman wrote me and she said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that you're the reason I could convince my husband, who never goes to the doctor, to get a freckle on his back checked. It was malignant melanoma, and thank God it didn't spread. Thank you for speaking about your skin cancer. You may have saved his life."
Wow, look at you.
I
You're
love
a hero,
that.
Dax.
Like, look at
Oh
that.
my God.
And
Pick which.
guys, go get your skin checked out. Remember, go. It is gnarly. It can spread through your body very quickly. It hits your lymph nodes and goes everywhere. So get those weird freckles, moles, anything that's
Hey,
asymmetrical.
Dax, let me know which
What?
day you want as Dax Holt Day. Um,
Please hit up me on my GoFundMe
yeah,
page.
exactly. All right, number 3.
Ellen DeGeneres, her house flooded again. So if you remember a couple weeks ago, we were talking about how Ellen and Portia got this new UK property and that it had gotten flooded. And that was like the whole big story, that they had all this weather in the UK and the Cottonworth, I think is
Sounds
where
about right,
they
yeah.
moved. Cotton something or other. Anyway, and then it got flooded. Well, flash forward, it got flooded again, and there's all these videos. It's like aerial footage. If you want to check it out, go to tmz.com. You'll see all the footage from over their house that they bought over there, and the land is completely underwater right now. So if you remember, they moved to Southwest England after Donald Trump was reelected to president, and they said, "Nope, we are out of here." Even though they had already bought their house over there, but they claimed that it was because of Donald Trump. They went from living in Montecito for many, many years to selling that property, or I guess they're looking to sell that property, and now they're living over in the UK. Well, this week the region was just flooded with rain, and Cotswold, sorry, not whatever I said before. Cotswold Village is where they're now living. It was hit by flash floods, and there's just water everywhere around that new mansion, as well as like the 43 acres around it that they own. And so they've been out and about walking through the village. They've been seen a lot more in town, even while it was during rain. And it's funny because Montecito was not that much better. If you remember, there would always be fires up there. Then all of a sudden the rains come in. Then it's flash flooding. It's like they can't get away from just shitty spots to live.
Yeah.
Granted, Montecito is not a shitty
Yeah.
spot to live. It's just it gets hit with rains and fires and all of that kind of stuff. And so, anyway, they're dealing with that once again.
I mean, it's not funny, but like I know people are laughing about this. It's like, what? You left America, now you're dealing with this stuff. Maybe it wasn't the best, so
it's just going to be Trump supporters that
Exactly.
are laughing at him because they made such a big deal about, oh, we're leaving the U.S. because Trump got reelected. So I think, but people just love to hate
True.
on anyone
Especially
anyway.
after
Anyone
Ellen's
who's
history.
rich and
Yeah,
famous.
I think it's gonna be. I'm sad. I'm gonna miss kind of like the potential chance of running into Ellen. Not like I run into her, but like there goes that chance of maybe running into her unless I'm over there, which is never gonna happen. But yeah, I mean it's crazy that there's
But I
also
bet if you go to that
paparazzi.
little,
You know what's funny? Like she's getting photographed over there, so there's paparazzi there, so she can't really hide from the paparazzi. You'd think that she's in the middle of nowhere.
there's a lot of people that live in that town now. Like Cotswold is a big celebrity hotspot for people in the UK. A lot of people live over there, so I'm not surprised. But I think that is because it's happening right now. Once the allure wears off, I mean, it's not like Ellen's exciting to see walking through the streets, right? Like she doesn't do anything. She's not wearing like crazy fashion that would make the photographers want to keep taking photos of her. So I don't see that lasting. It's a news story, so they know that they're going to get money.
I disagree. I think people are going to see how she evolves. Is she going to start dressing like the culture? Is she going to start looking different? Is her hair going to turn into all white instead of blonde?
It's Ellen, bro. She's not going to dress that different.
She's sort of villainized.
There's no
She's
way.
a villain. She's a little bit of a villain at the moment.
No, I think people have started to move on from
all right,
that.
Dax number 2.
I think her Netflix special helped out a little bit.
Did it? I don't know. I think people have their opinions. I mean, matter one, she was nice to me, but I know people have their opinions and people suck. So it is what it is. Dax number 2.
Brandi Glanville opening up about her face and what is truly going on. If you saw She posted a photo recently on her IG. I'm going to put it up right here so you guys can see it. This is what her face has been looking like for people who are listening to the podcast. I would say her left cheek looks very saggy and wrinkly. It doesn't match the other side of her face. She's got a lot of little bumps all over the place. It just really does not look healthy. And if you want to check it out, you can obviously head on over to her IG. But she is saying that it is actually a face parasite, that she has spent over $70,000 on treatment to try to figure it out. She did a sit-down interview with Entertainment Tonight and about this battle, and claiming that some doctors believe her symptoms are the result of a parasite. She said, look, this has been a financial burden. She's allegedly spent over $70,000 on the treatment to try to cure this facial disfigurement. She said that what led to her diagnosis, she said she was consulted by a group of specialists, including her immunologist, an infectious disease doctor, a rheumatologist, and an ENT, which is obviously an ear, nose, and throat doctor. She's like, they sent me to have my face checked. And they said, well, maybe it's old filler so that it's all dissolved. And she's like, no, you're dissolving my actual skin because I haven't had filler in a long time. And she said she's now on antibiotics and I guess like every day for 6 weeks. She's doing all these things to try to get rid of this parasite, immunodepressive drugs, anti-parasite, which they use to treat malaria and lupus. She's like, we have tried everything you could think of. She's been on meds all year this year. She doesn't socialize. She doesn't go out. She's spending all of her money on trying to figure out what's going on with her face. And she's like, I'm really stressed because she's also not really working for the last 2 years. So she's like, I'm spending this money. None is coming in. I've had all these doctors, all these tests. She's like, I did lab work for $10,000. I've ran every test under the sun and nothing is fixing it. And it's kind of freaking her out. Here's the thing, though. She is now saying that she believes she may have contracted the parasite and suggested that it was possibly while she was in Morocco filming with The Real Housewives, The Ultimate Girls Trip back in 2023. So I think that might be her opening this up for a potential lawsuit against Bravo to try to figure out what's going on. But she said we had food sitting out for hours at the end of some of it was meat. She said that 6 months after I got back from Morocco, I started having this like speaking thing and the swelling thing, and it started in July, and we're still here trying to figure it out. So I don't know, dude. Her face does not look good. She also said that she feels all this like popping sensation in her skin. And she goes, when I push there on the left side of my face, it feels like little tiny bubbles are bursting. She goes, it feels like it's shitting or having babies in my face.
Ugh! Yeah, really gnarly, really gross. I do know, and from what I heard, that she's living in like a 1-bedroom rental apartment in LA. I don't know what area. I can find out how much. She hasn't worked, so I'm sure the income is, but I think there's a lawsuit coming. That's just my prediction based on that statement.
I think that this is kicking off a lawsuit, especially if she's mentioning she got it on this the girls trip. I think next thing you're going to see is her suing Bravo for her face parasite.
All right, Dax, the number one story of the week.
Number one. Well, I do have to say that there are a couple other stories that we won't be talking about on this Friday episode that we did mention on Wednesday, and so we're not ignoring them, but we just kind of already talked about them. So obviously, Jamie Foxx, him revealing that he had a stroke caused by brain bleed. That should have been up here, but we talked about it on Wednesday. Megan Fox and MGK breaking up while she's pregnant. That would have been up here. And Jay-Z being accused of raping a 13-year-old girl with Diddy, and his response saying that is inaccurate or false information. All three of those we covered on Wednesday's episode. I just didn't want to go over them again because people are going to be like, come on, guys, we need new information. So those obviously would have been in the top three.
Actually, and I will say those stories did more traffic than the number one story so far.
Correct. But this one is a huge story. So Selena Gomez, she is engaged. She said yes to Benny Blanco. This news just kind of broke, and everyone is going wild on instant media, Instagram, on social media. because she posted the ring and said, this is, exciting for her. And everyone on her Instagram had been commenting. A lot of celebrities have come forward congratulating them. But, they are taking their relationship to the next level. And she is now. And if you don't recognize the name Benny Blanco, he's a huge music producer. They met years and years and years ago when she was much younger, but basically had, they didn't have a romantic relationship back then. It turned romantic over the last year. They started dating in July of 2023. But they had they collaborated on I Can't Get Enough back then. And then it did really well. And then somehow made their way back together, and it took it to a new level. Her Instagram. Here's the thing, Adam. Did you see the ring?
Ring looks good. I'm happy for them. Benny's a great guy. I don't know Selena, but I know Benny very little bit, but he's a very nice guy. They look very happy together. He says that she asked him out on their first date. They're at like the age where they sort of start to settle down a little bit. They both actually have the same skin tone as well. So it kind of is going to be like an interesting.
What does that mean?
It's like they have the same color. They both look like chipmunks a little bit, like that kind of color.
Random statement, but funny.
Yeah, it's. I'm happy for him. Benny rules. Great guy. Good style. Good fashion. The thing you don't think.
My favorite part of this entire engagement is they posted photos of like where it went down. They're having a picnic. It looks like in a backyard. So they got the blanket out. They've got other blankets around. They've got the picnic basket. They got the little like metal bucket where the wine goes in. But my favorite part is they're eating Taco Bell. I love it. Like, this was not hey, we're going to, a fancy steakhouse on the water. Like, Taco Bell on a blanket in the backyard. This is the greatest. And I bet she loved it. Like, it's so down to earth and probably exactly what she wanted.
Well, as we both have said, only rich people can afford Taco Bell these days because the prices have gone so high. Great commercial for Taco Bell. I wonder if they pay to get into the free plug, but great press for Taco Bell. Selena actually, what's interesting? Benny Blanco, and something no one talks about. Benny Blanco has worked with Justin Bieber. They've created songs like "Lonely" together. Like, they had a working relationship together. Now Benny's now getting engaged to Bieber's ex, Selena. So, unique kind of, but I guess they both work, in this industry, they all run in the same circle. So it's hard to avoid. But at the end of the day, happy they're happy. Benny rules, great guy. I think they're going to have a nice, pretty wedding. Benny's got great style. Selena does too, but I think Benny's is actually better. Congratulations. But we also thought like this was going to end well.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way things were going, I was like, no, this is going the distance.
I don't feel like I've seen her so happy. Like, that's one thing. I was really sad after watching the Selena Gomez documentary where she talks all about her lupus and all of her struggles. She had a lot of depression going on, like, through the whole thing. I just kind of felt like sad that she wasn't happy. Like, she has this amazing life, but she just didn't seem fulfilled. And over the last few months where she's been with him, seems like a whole nother person. Smiley, happy, like she's truly found that like love of her life. I'm like, yes, I like seeing Selena happy.
Yeah, happy for them. Congratulations. I mean, she's one of the biggest celebrities in the world. So of course, this became the top story of the week. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on Red Coral Universe, thank you for watching on YouTube. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the page. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We're on it all. We have a private Facebook group called Off the Record. Being in it because it's fun. It's cool. I just like everyone in it. Everyone's a fun community. I love when they shit on us. I love when we shit on them. But also, we bond because we all love this stupid entertainment news industry. Follow me at Adam Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Dax Holt. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
What's up, guys? If you liked that video, there's plenty more where that came from.
Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so we can just feed you all the goodness daily.
Hurry up. Come on. Let's go.